In this class we want to talk about business strategy, and in particular look at the mission and vision statements of the business. We'll start with the mission. Mintzberg defines a business's mission as: a mission describes the organization's basic function in society in terms of the products and services it produces for its customers. So it's the basic function in society in terms of the products and services it produces. Okay, so what we need to do here is to find a statement related to an organization, a brief statement that encapsulates what the organization's basic function in society is in terms of its products and services. As we'll see in the next few slides, there is somewhat more to the requirement than this, but Mintzberg's position is a good starting point. Let's look at the mission statement. A mission statement typically involves a brief overview of the company's present business purpose. So generally speaking, it talks about where the company is at the moment and the type of business it is. It addresses the questions: who are we and what do we do? In essence, it describes the products and services and the target customers. So the mission statement is a brief statement answering straightforward questions. Who is the business? Who are we? And what do we do? What do we make? What do we supply? What sort of business is it? So in essence, it describes the products and services and the target customers. Now you can see immediately that this simple statement is becoming more complex. A mission statement is mainly found in a company's annual reports or on their website. But generally speaking, it's complicated to do. It's complicated to summarize the whole business in a short statement. So good mission statements are difficult. A good mission statement must include each of the following: the purpose of the business, the values of the business, the scope and strategy of the business, and the standards and behavior of the business. So we have 4 areas to incorporate into the mission statement: the purpose, the values, standards and behavior, and the scope and strategy. Now we're going to have a look at these in turn. So we'll start with the purpose. Now, for a purpose, it's important to state, what is the purpose of the business? Is it to make profits? Is it to expand and create employment? Or is it to make quality product and be proud of the product? What exactly is the purpose of the business? And care must be taken here, because if the purpose of the business is to make profit and profit alone, that may be politically not very acceptable in the wider community. We live in a world in which we like to believe that companies are there to supply a service, whereas in fact the motivation of the shareholders may be to get a good return on their investment. So this one must be treated with care. Is it to create wealth for shareholders, or is the purpose to satisfy the needs of all stakeholders? There are many stakeholders in the business. There are the shareholders, they are stakeholders. But stakeholders also include the workers, the management, even the workers' families, the local community, the suppliers, the whole range of people who are associated with the business can be seen as stakeholders. So, is the purpose of the business to satisfy their requirements, or is it to narrowly create a profit? And as I said, that must be treated carefully. That is, it must be treated honestly, but at the same time, there is a political dimension to this. But that should be in the mission statement, the purpose of the business. The second one, if you go back to the little diagram we had earlier, was strategy and strategic scope. The products and services that the business offers that creates the company's competitive position in the marketplace. So list out the products and services that the business offers that creates the company's competitive position. What does the business make? What does it do? And what does it offer in the marketplace? And these are the products that give it its competitive position. So it's important to list those. And the methods the company employs to succeed and gain a competitive advantage. How does it compete? This overlaps with core competencies. What is it the business can do that other businesses find difficult? What is it that the business can do well and can translate its expertise into a quality product that meets customer needs? So list out the advantages that the business has in the marketplace, because this is what gives the business its competitive advantage. Management is responsible for setting out the business's strategic scope. This defines the boundaries of its operations. So the management must specify the limits to the business. The business makes a certain product, perhaps that is the limit of the business. It makes this product and delivers the product. Perhaps that is the limit, that's the boundary of the business. Or it could be that the business makes several products and satisfies a number of markets. So the management, who are responsible for the boundaries of the business, must set out the limits of the business in the mission statement. The mission statement should make it clear which markets the business operates in and the type of products it delivers. The next one in our little diagram was the policies and standards of behaviour. A mission statement needs to be realistic and can be applied into everyday actions, and performance can be monitored effectively. The mission statement must be realistic. It must be honest, and it must be realistic. It would be a nonsense to say that the mission of the business is to put a man on Mars. In fact, it may be not a nonsense, but it sounds so unrealistic that given the current state of technology, given the current state of know-how, that may be beyond a single business. So be realistic. Be realistic about the product and about the market size it operates in. And make sure that it is relates to everyday actions, that people can relate to it. They can see the product and can see how the product is delivered. There's nothing mystical about the company's performance. There's nothing strange about how it does its business. It is realistic, it's understandable, and also the business can be monitored effectively. It's possible to check that the mission statement accords to what the business actually does. For example, if a business mission emphasizes delivering exceptional customer service, then specific policies and standards should be created and consulted regularly to test performance. If the mission statement says the business delivers exceptional customer service, being realistic and applying it to everyday actions, how is exceptional customer service measured? What standards are used? How do we know it's exceptional? And this means that statements like exceptional customer service, which are permissible, but they need support. There should be some indication of how this is measured and what exactly it means. The last one in our diagram, the diagram we had earlier, was values and culture. The values embedded in a business are derived from the beliefs of the people who work in the business and their culture. So the values of the business are a reflection of the culture of the people involved in the business itself. And this relates to business principles. Should the business go after profits no matter what? Or should the business project a caring disposition towards the local community? What exactly are the business principles involved? How are they worked out, and are they realistic as well? Does the business have a history of loyalty to its employees and to its customers? Or does it simply want to make a sale and move on? Does it build up a customer relationship? Does it have an aftercare service? Does it look after the customers in the case of failure, that the product purchased does not meet the customer requirements? So, does the business have some sort of organization or some sort of facility in place to deal with the loyalty of the customers and the employees? Look after the employees also. And is there some sort of guidance on expected behaviour? What sort of training's in place for personnel in the business who deal with customers and deal with employees? Customers and employees are humans. They have requirements and feelings, and they want to be dealt with in a certain way, with respect, and to be dealt with properly. And is there a program of training for the personnel within the business who deal with customers and with employees? And does that training reflect good practice? I said when we started out on these four, you'll see listed at the top: purpose, strategy and strategic scope, policies and standards of behaviour, and values and culture. I said it was related to that diagram we had at the start. And just to bring it back to your mind, that's what we have been discussing in the context of those four boxes. Now let's move on to strategic vision. A vision statement is used by companies to paint a picture of their company in the future. A company's vision statement sets out what they aspire to be in the next 3 to 10 years. So it's a vision statement. It's where they want to be in 3 to perhaps 10 years' time. It provides a basis for future strategic planning. It makes explicit what the business wants to be in the next 3 to, let's say, 10 years. And insofar as it has stated where it wants to be, that's the basis for strategic planning. That's where planning starts from. So, the vision statement answers the question, where do we want to go? Where does the business want to go? What does it want to do? Where does it want to be in terms of its size, its products, its positioning? Where does it want to be in 3 years' time or in 10 years' time? A strategic vision guides the organization to a particular strategic path and molds the organization's identity. So the strategic vision guides the organization to a particular strategic path. It states where it wants to be, and that determines the strategic path it's on. A good and well-expressed strategic vision expresses management's aspirations to the stakeholders. So if it's a good and well-expressed strategic vision, then the stakeholders will know where the business wants to be, where the business is going. So it's keeping the stakeholders informed of the direction in which the business is moving. The vision suggests where the business wants to be in the future. It should also specify exactly how the company would achieve their vision and how it will be different from what it is today. So it's not just stating where it wants to be, it's suggesting how it will get there. It's explaining how it will get there, albeit with caveats, albeit with conditions. For example, technology changes, and planning for the next 3 to 5 years in an environment in which technology is rapidly changing is a difficult task. But nonetheless, it sets out where it wants to be, and it suggests how it can get there. And how it can get there is by developing its core competencies, developing its personnel, developing the workers, by clever engineering, by good design, by building a good brand and projecting a positive image of itself to its customer base. So the statement will probably include areas such as those. Let's look at an example of a mission statement. This one comes from Coca-Cola, and I've clipped out bits of it, and it's a particularly good mission statement, as you would expect from a large and reputable company. So let's have a look to see what Coca-Cola have in. It starts, our roadmap starts with our mission, which is enduring. Now the words here are very meaningful, which is enduring. In other words, this company aims to carry on. This company is in here for the long run. This company is going to continue. So our roadmap starts with our mission, which is enduring. The mission is enduring. The mission goes on. It declares our purpose as a company and serves as the standard against which we weigh our actions and decisions. So it's telling the reader the importance of the mission. It declares our purpose as a company and serves as a standard against which we weigh our actions and decisions. The mission statement is very important. It declares the purpose of the business. And the purpose of the business includes items such as to refresh the world. Well, this is Coca-Cola. To inspire moments of optimism and happiness. In other words, to link the product to good times, to happiness, give it a positive image. To create value and make a difference. So it's It's looking at the wider objectives of the business in addition to just selling the product. Coca-Cola is involved in many good works, charities and so on, and donates considerable amounts to causes. So to create value and make a difference, perhaps that's what it's referring to. Now the vision of Coca-Cola, well, it goes on. Our vision serves as the framework for our roadmap. I'll just stop there for a second. Our vision serves as the framework. The vision is very important. It's the framework for the roadmap, for where they want to be. It guides every aspect of our business by describing what we need to accomplish in order to continue achieving sustainable quality growth. So the vision statement is a very important statement. It provides the framework for the roadmap. The roadmap is where they want to be, where they are and where they want to be. That's the roadmap. And the vision statement sets out the framework. It guides every aspect of our business. It guides every aspect of our business. It's a very strong statement. By describing what we need to accomplish in order to continue achieving sustainable quality growth. In other words, the vision statement is very important. This is what encapsulates the future planning process. This is what is taken into account in strategic planning for Cokes, and Coke take this into account and develop according to its requirements. Now their vision, well, they've managed to get their vision into 6 P's: people, portfolio, partners, planet, profit, and productivity. You can read over this in your own time and look at it, but just to run through it quickly here. People, be a great place to work where people are inspired to be the best they can be. In other words, maximize on the potential of the people who work for Coke. Make work fun, make it a nice experience so that people contribute to the company and are motivated and productivity will be higher. Portfolio. Bring to the world a portfolio of quality beverage brands that anticipate and satisfy people's desires and needs. So constantly look at the product range. Bring out new products. Market research and find out what people want, what customers want, and develop products and test the products and constantly review the portfolio of products that are being delivered. Partners. Well, nurture a winning network of customers and suppliers. Then it goes on, together we create mutual enduring value. So partners, distribution partners or suppliers, form the basis of a wider business, a larger business, by including the suppliers and the distribution networks. Include them in the sense that they are involved in the direction of the business. Take their opinions into account. So they become loyal to the business. They become almost a part of the business. Planet. Be a responsible citizen that makes a difference by helping build and support sustainable communities. There's a lot of pressure on multinationals to be seen to do more at this time when the planet is under so much pressure. We have global warming, we have population pressure. So is there anything that companies can do to alleviate these problems? Profit. Maximize long-term returns to shareholders whilst being mindful of our overall responsibilities. So Coke recognises the importance of profit. The reason why people invested in Coca-Cola was to get a return on their money. So the company recognises this, but at the same time it has other responsibilities. For example, the one earlier, helping to build and support sustainable communities. So perhaps investing in social projects in many third world countries. Finally, productivity. Be a highly effective, lean and fast-growing organisation. So the aspiration is to be as productive and as efficient as possible. You can see from what we've got here, the vision and mission statements are complex. It's difficult to summarize a whole business in a few words. So it may be worth your while going online and seeing if you can find examples of mission statements from the larger companies and to see how they have managed to represent the whole of the business in such a short number of words, such a limited number of words. Now let's move on from Coca-Cola and have a word about strategic intent. Well, very briefly here, we have vision. It's where the business wants to be. So it's the company's future direction, which is the vision. Now if we add intent, that it's what the company wants, what measures can be adopted to achieve the vision? So we have the company wants to be somewhere, it wants to develop a certain product or a certain image, or it wants to achieve certain goals by a certain time period. That's the vision. And what measures can it adopt to achieve this mission? So list out the measures that could be adopted. Now that'll vary from business to business, so we can't really move forward with this one. These are two words which are very important. State the future direction of the business, and then how can the business achieve what it wants. So that's our discussion of mission and vision, and also a quick word on intent. Let's leave it at that for the moment. That's all we want to say about this topic at this time. So thank you for watching.